Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm doing a dog portrait. I am doing Dogist for the month of August, and I am in an A4 Lecterm. This color is discontinued. I will link other things and the supplies I am currently using in the description box below in case you're curious and want to know what it is I am doing. So, sorry about the cars. It's the weekend and my neighbors are kind of loud. Okay. So today is the 23rd, and this is the day I'm recording it, and the dog today is a Harrier, and it looks like a Beagle, like kind of a foxhound. Yeah, okay. He's really cute, and I'm starting to have trouble with some of these dogs because they look like other dogs. All the dogs are starting to look alike, and that's not fair. That's not fair to any of these dogs, but yeah, some of them look really similar to other things, and I'm like, some of these I've never even heard of, and I'm trying to figure out, like, why have I never heard of you? That's not fair. Oh, I'm using a Pentel brush pen, partly because it's quick, and partly because I really want to do a background. I took a sheet protector and stuck a sheet in there, and I'm using this as a page protector, because sometimes this pen bleeds through. If I have squeeze the ink into the well and it's particularly juicy, it will leak. So yeah, the more I do this challenge, the more I realize there's all these dog breeds that aren't talked about, that I didn't know about. And I don't know if this is like a US thing or every country kind of does this. Like they have their favorite 20 dog breeds that they talk a lot about, and then the rest of them they don't bother mentioning or something. I don't know what it is. There's just so many that I'm coming across and I'm like, I've never heard of you. You're adorable. Why have I never heard of you? And these dogs are all so amazing and wonderful, and like even common dog breed books, like who decides what's common and what country are they pulling the word common from? There's a dog. That's my neighbor's dog. They're really, really cute, but they are very protective of who walks by their space, like the fence and stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just trying to figure this out because a lot of these dogs, I'm like, it's not fair I've never heard of you. You're so adorable. So, and I have painting to do today. I am repainting. I'll throw up a before picture, but I don't have an after. So this is our outdoor table. Excuse me, my throat. One of the things folks don't talk a lot about is when you live fairly close to the ocean, the salt air, the sand in the air, the salt in the air, it is really hard on everything metal. Like everything metal rusts. And it doesn't matter if you keep it inside or outside. Like everything we go to buy, we have to make sure like the metal portions are stainless steel. Like everything from like one of my outdoor hats, okay, for example, you can like flip up the brim and snap it with little snaps. And the first one I had, the snaps weren't stainless steel and the snaps rusted. So like all the products, even though the hat is inside, I take it outside when I garden and stuff to protect my face. Yeah, all the products, everything rusts. So our outdoor table is metal, and it's a beautiful dark green. It's very gorgeous, but it is thoroughly rusted. So I'm going to sand it today and get all the loose paint off, and then I'm going to paint it. And I don't think I have enough spray paint, so I'm gonna have to buy some more spray paint, which means when I am done, I'll throw a picture up. Maybe I'll put it in the community tab or something when I'm done, but it won't be for a few days because I think I need to get more paint. I'm terrible at gauging how much spray paint I need for projects. So like we have storm doors, like screen doors that are metal, those need to be spray painted and redone. And even the paints that say they're for outdoor, they're for outdoor metal, it's fine. Kind of, but like only for a couple years maybe. So salt air and sand air is no joke. There's a lot more maintenance and things with that. So yeah, if you are like a bicyclist, it doesn't matter where you store your bike, it will rust. Like there's just no getting around some of these things, which is a bit of a bummer. But I mean, we live by the ocean, so I'm not really complaining. You know what I mean? Like it feels weird to complain. I'm just stating a reality situation that folks don't think about, but that's what I'm doing today. I'm doing a lot of like spray painting of different things and stuff. So all the paintings, which is why my drawing thing today isn't going to be super intensive or super detailed. Like I did, my color pencil work takes the most time. Like something like this takes over 2 hours. So I just don't have that time today. Like our weekends are kind of, especially when the sun's out and the sun's out and I'm super excited. We've got things to do. Like I've got chores. Yeah, they're fun, they're painting, but I still need to do them. So that's kind of where I'm at. So thank you for being patient with me and stuff with some of these drawings. I'm not made of time. I really wish I was, because oh my God, would I get more stuff done if I was made of time. But I need to negative space some whiskers here. I'm not adding any white pigment or white paint or anything. I'm just gonna negative space this stuff and hope for the best. Yeah, and that'll have to do. So that's kind of how I do this with this brush pen. Anyway, and I'm gonna stipple to soften up some of these edges because they get really harsh. Oh, I should give them an eyeball, huh? That's kind of weird. I know, all over the map today. I'm just constantly thinking about like my to-do lists and stuff. Taking advantage of sunshine. How's the weather where you're at? Do you have really crazy weather? Like I know some of you have wild weather and you just don't get to talk about it enough to other people, but you could talk about it to me. Oh, listen. I'm here for the wild weather. Tell me all about it. I'm in the northern hemisphere, so technically it's summer. Though most days you can't tell. Like it's foggy and overcast and very, very high humidity. So painting's always tricky because everything stays tacky and the drying times are forever. Like forever. So it really, like the sun has to be out and I have to do it while the sun is out, and then hopefully like the bulk of it is fairly dry, that when the breezes and the winds kick up and stuff, like stuff isn't sticking because everything's still super tacky and wet. So I know, it's kind of wild. I mean, this is my summer, this is my only opportunity to sort of paint and stuff, so I have so many painting projects. I can't. My poor arms. I'm just thinking about it. My arms are going, oh no, how? I don't know. We'll figure it out, arms. And then I need to borrow a ladder. That's kind of where I am. I need to borrow a ladder from a neighbor. I need a tall ladder. I'm hoping one of my neighbors has one because, yeah, painting. Let's do a nose. A nose. So, yeah. Oh. So what are your plans for the weekend? Tell me stories. Tell me things. I'm so curious. Do you have a dog? Are you doing Dogist? I've never done Dogist before, and I see why. This makes me want to, like, the other day, all I wanted to draw was a fox. I'm like, the dogs are great. I really am craving to draw a fox. And that's what happens when I draw one animal. I want to draw all the animals. Not just the one. I want to lean into all of them. And I can't. So I think I'm going to do a unique background with this one. I've been in my pattern book, my pattern directory. It's kind of an unusually shaped book. Like, it's thick like a coffee table book, but it's squatty and kind of square. So it wouldn't make a good coffee table book because of its size is so strange. And I don't know why they chose that size. Nobody tells me nothing. So, but it's a really good book. Check your local library, see if they have it. If they don't, ask them about their purchasing policies and what you can do to get that into the collection so you can look at it. If you're doing a low buy art supply or a no buy art supply and there's books you want to look at and get inspiration from, it's a really great one for that. I don't buy a lot of books. I just don't. I don't have the space or the inclination to keep tons of books. I am super allergic to dust. Fun fact, I don't do dust. Like, I can't. Oh, my eyes burn like somebody set them on fire. So I'm really careful of the amount of like knickknacks and things on surfaces because my eyes get super irritated and I have to have my eyes to see, especially when I'm doing art and stuff. It's kind of a necessity for me. I'm very visual. Some people don't look down a lot while they draw, and I'm not that person. I have to look down a lot. So I heavily rely on my eyes. So if they're burning and they feel like they're on fire, yeah, I know our dust situation has gotten not good. So I have to be really, really careful when I vacuum and sweep and stuff. Like, I'm just very, very careful so I don't exacerbate things. But because of that, we don't keep a lot of stuff. Like, we just don't have a high inventory of belongings that we keep out, you know? I don't think we have a high inventory of belongings in general, but yeah, I can't do the dust. I just can't do it. So our house is always pretty clean. I don't own a feather duster. It's wet. We just do a wet cloth so it picks it up. Yeah. Minimalist before it was cool. I've known I've been allergic to dust for a long time. I did one of those allergy things where they stuck a needle. They did the needles down the arm of all the different things. That was hilarious. I was laughing. The lady in there had a great sense of humor because when things are serious, I have to go with humor. And I was just like, oh, would you look at that? And she's like, yeah, you have a low tolerance to all allergens. And I'm like, that sounds correct. That sounds very correct to how I feel most of the time. Outside, inside, I feel sneezy and things burn. Like, it just, yeah, that makes sense. She was lovely. But yeah, there's so many things I'm allergic to that, like, nope. It's a big nope all the time. So I have to be really careful. It makes me high maintenance. I'm allergic to most metals, which is why I don't wear like a lot of jewelry. I have a wedding band. It's stainless steel. I don't wear it. I like white gold, but white gold is cut with nickel to make gold, white gold, and I'm allergic to nickel. So, I mean, the list of what I'm not allergic to is shorter at this point. Like, that would be a shorter story. So I just have to be really, really careful with like everything everywhere all the time. But yeah, so, and then I garden and pollens. So I've eaten pollen. I've eaten like a lot of pollen, and you do like a little bit and then you build up a tolerance to the pollens where you eat more and more, like spoonfuls, and it becomes a tablespoon and it becomes more and more. So you're not quite so allergic to everything when everything blooms. And I do that, you know, whatever area I live in, I'll get the local pollen and do that. And that kind of helps one allergy. I don't know what to tell people. I'm just like, oh yeah. I do it. Does it help? Sort of. I can't make it any worse. Okay. So, yeah. Oh, I'm allergic to animals. I am. I'm allergic to cats and dogs. Super allergic. I will always own a pet. I will always do it. I have to. I think there's such like an enriching, rewarding thing to have in your life, having a pet. I know it's not for everybody. Some people aren't interested in the responsibility. Some people aren't interested in like the care and all the things, because they can be high maintenance. Like, that's a thing. And the training and all this stuff. I think in some respects cats are a little bit easier just because they're kind of already potty trained. They come out the gate potty trained, which is kind of wild, especially if you've never had a cat before. You like throw them in a litter box and they're like, oh, I got it. Good, we're done. But yeah, it's just not, it's not for everyone. And it's for me. So, you know, medicines and shots and all the things. Because animals have to do it. It's a non-negotiable. When we realized that my pet allergies were getting super, super bad, and I needed to like get other medicines and stuff. Yeah, my husband's like, do you still want to do pets? Like, if you don't, like, I understand. I won't be mad. It's your life. You're the one who's like suffering. And I was like, no, we're always going to have pets. And he's like, okay, like, I get it. Like, all right, thank you. Thank you for understanding. Like, I need fuzzies in my life. He's the same way. Oh my gosh. Animal people. You know who you are. So we just make concessions for the things that are worth making concessions for, you know? Like, it's not for everybody. Some people don't get it, and that's okay. But my kids love having pets too. Like, they're big animal people. They don't seem to have my pet allergy, but they definitely have the metal one. Like, they're allergic to the metals as well, which was, you kind of find that out the hard way. Like, I want to get my ears pierced. And you're like, oh, okay. And then, you know, okay, we have to switch earrings. The metal in that one you're allergic to. So that's kind of how you find out with some of that. We have food allergies in this house. I don't have food allergies. But one of our kids does, so EpiPens and all the things. That was a surprise. Like, you never know what you're gonna get, you know, in life. It's all such a huge adventure. And I'm here for it, so. We just tell our kids, everybody has a little something. It's all right. Mama just has a little more little something than most people. So, yeah. But they're so, like, cognizant of my allergies and my things that they're so, like, in tune and sensitive to other people's sensitivities. It's made them really, really nice adults that they're growing into be, you know? Like, understanding other people's sensitivity in life and stuff. It's really cool. Really cool to watch. I don't know how I got on this subject, but yeah. Allergic to the doggos and the cats. And anything with feathers. Like I said, they did the arm test with all the needles. And it's like they inject a little bit of something under your skin. And if you're allergic to it, it becomes a bump. And oh my goodness, I was all bumps. I just looked like I got into a fight with a mosquito. The mosquito won. That's what it looked like. Anyway, the lady was super nice about it. She's just like, oh, and I'm all, yeah, that tracks. That makes sense. So, but I did that test a long time ago. And then she's like, well, you have options. And I'm like, oh, what are my options? And she's like, well, you can't live in a place where, like, I lived in a valley where the air sat. She's like, you can't live in a valley anymore. Your face is going to be swollen forever. You need to either live, like, in a desert with that kind of atmosphere, or you need to live by the ocean where the air is just cleaner. Like, pick one. And I was like, ocean. So it took quite a few years, but we finally did that. Ocean living. So I could breathe. Breathing is awesome. Like, you don't realize when you haven't done it for a really long time that when you're finally able to do it, like, breathe deeply. Oh my gosh. The difference between night and day. I'm like, oh my God. When we were driving up here, like, I could feel, driving to where we live now, I could feel like my nose open up. Oh my God, I can breathe. Air. I felt like a space ball. It's air. So yeah, I've been able to breathe ever since, which is awesome. But I used to suffer allergies really, really bad where we used to live, and it got to the point where it was about 10 months out of the year I couldn't breathe, which makes sleeping difficult because if you can't breathe, it's really hard to sleep. So my sleep schedule was really random, and my lifestyle was really random, and my face was always swollen, and it was just one thing after another thing, like month after month, day after day, year after year. It was a lot. So I feel like a normal human. Okay, so this is my dog. We're not even level here. All right, let's clean that up a little bit. Now, as far as background, I kind of want to do some flowers. Yeah. Okay, so this is my Uniball Signo in gold. This is a high release, it's a gel pen. I love these. I go through these so fast every year. Gosh, I think I ordered like 6 of them this year and I only have 2 left. So let's figure out some sort of pattern. But it's the equivalent of like a 10. So if you're used to drawing with like a 0.5, double that and you will understand the thickness of the gel ink and stuff. Yeah. Thinking gold, like flowerish, daisy-ish, kind of geometric, stylized flowers. That's what I'm thinking of. I need to get weird with it because I haven't even hit the halfway point. I'm doing 50 of these. It's not the 25th. So I need to get on with my goals here of doing unique things, fun things, different things, to make this experience constantly, you know, a little bit more challenging, a little bit more unique day after day. And that's really the trick. If you're doing back-to-back drawing challenges like I am this year, and I don't know that a lot of people enjoy doing that, but this is one of the ways that I get to draw for me, make sure I'm doing some of the, like if I do a lot of commissions, I'm not really drawing for me, I'm drawing for someone else, which is fine. Like, I get that. I've been doing that for a long time. I enjoy it. But drawing in sketchbooks and doing these things is how I give back to myself, because it's kind of like, it's that thing I talked about in other videos of when your hobby becomes your job, what happens to your hobby? You have to figure out ways to maintain your interests and your hobbies and stuff. And drawing and creating is one of my favoriteest things in the world. But if I'm always drawing and creating for other people, which is totally fine, I'm not doing some of the things I love for me, and I've lost some of that. So a way for me to maintain that and make sure I still get that joy and I still get to do the things I want to do is to do drawing challenges like this. And I enjoy it, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. So if you're doing back-to-back drawing challenges, and you're doing that month after month, and I've done it a few years in a row, yeah, you have to figure out your pacing and your interests and keeping it like spicy. How to keep it spicy for yourself. Like, it's the right amount of whelm. If you're overwhelmed, you're going to be burning out and you're not going to want to keep up with it. If you're underwhelmed, you're going to be bored, and that's a different type of burnout, and you're just not going to want to keep up with it. And that can be really disappointing because you had an idea, you had a plan, this was for you, and you want to maintain and keep something just for you. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this, is how do I keep this for me and keep it enjoyable so it doesn't feel like a chore or another job or another commission or something I have to do. It's something I want to do. I just love gold sparkle. flower. It's a flower. And I'll do another one over here. Anyway, yeah. So within each challenge, I have to have days that are easier days that are longer, challenging days. Like I have to figure out how to do that for me. And then if there's any value in some of this advice or tips and tricks for you, the viewer. So I don't flash my commissions around. Those are personal. I don't show people's kids because it's the internet and I'm super protective of people's kids. So I'm not showing those commissions. That's not a thing anybody ever gets to see. And I explain that when people hire me to do that stuff. I'm like, I have no problem drawing your kid and, you know, locking that down at the time in their life and freezing that moment through art. Like that's a huge honor for me. I'm super honored when people want me to do that for them. And I'm like, but I'm not flashing it around. I'm not showing people. I'm protecting your kid. And it's kind of hard because a lot of people, you know, show a lot of their children and stuff on the internet. And I'm like, but I'm not doing that because they can't consent. They're not of adult age to be able to understand what that means, and if that's something they want to have. And a good example of that is we homeschool. We've been homeschooling since the pandemic, and it's just a better fit. Oh wow, is it a better fit? Our kids can just go above and beyond with whatever subject they're super interested in, and it's just been a joy. But I used to look and watch a lot of like homeschool YouTube stuff. Of these parents that are homeschooling their kid or their children, like there's multiple, and they're enjoying that. But as the kids have aged out, the kids don't want to be on the camera anymore. And I've seen, I think about 3 channels now, and I'm not going to name anybody, but the kids are mad. And they've had to do like exit videos of, hey, you don't know me. If you see me, don't think you know me. Like my parents, this is what my parents chose to do. I didn't have a say in the matter. They're not happy. And so I stopped watching homeschooling videos. I was looking for inclusive curriculum ideas, mostly for just history. And I did get a lot of really cool ideas from a couple YouTubers that don't even YouTube anymore. But the ones with the kids aging out and how mad they are and unhappy they are about being on the internet and having their life shown, it's awkward. It's real awkward. And so I just stopped. I'm not into family vloggers anyway. Like that's not a thing. I was just looking for, when we first started out, I was like, I don't know how to do this. I'm not a school educator. Like I have no idea how to go about picking out curriculums and finding the best ones and trying to assess my kid of what learning style would be most effective for them, especially with like math. Like math is one of those subjects that everybody's like, everybody has an opinion on it and everybody has different experiences with it. And my experiences have always been very divisive, and very difficult with the math level things I went through in school growing up. And my retention for math. Ooh, it's low. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, my retention level for mathematics is really low. So whatever the teacher would teach, I'd have to go home and study an extra hour every day to try and retain it and figure it out because it was just taught at a pace I could not understand it. I needed more time with it. And some classrooms, like they don't, even at the college level, it wasn't afforded. Like we just didn't have the time to spend that kind of time on making sure everybody got every single thing. Are they coming back? Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Shout out to our first responders. Thank you for responding and helping. We appreciate you beyond all measure. All measure. Our first responders are amazing where we live. Okay. Anyway, so when I was trying to figure out like the best way to get our kids engaged and enthused and retention and interest level. Like there was just subjects they weren't any longer interested in, and there were things they didn't want to do anymore, and I'm like, how do I get them back interested in these subjects? Because seriously, like, history's fascinating. It's sad and it's a lot, but it's fascinating. So if you hate history, it's not your fault. It just hasn't been taught to you in a way that you enjoy it. So we had to go and like try and figure out how do we do this? Do we know how to do this? And it was a lot of reading, and it was a lot of research, and it was a lot of trying to figure out, and I spoke with people and interviewed people, and like, man, I did all the things trying to figure out the best way to get my kids enthused with subjects they were no longer interested in, and finding curriculum that wasn't super boring and engaging and had more hands-on activities, because, dude, hands-on activities is a great way to learn. Yeah. So one of the resources I used was YouTube, and there are a lot of education things on YouTube and homeschooling things on YouTube, and not all of them are things that helped me specifically, but they could help you. I mean, even as adults, there are subjects like we're just not the best in, and to go back and like review some stuff and look at stuff, it's just such a fun and exciting way when you do it at your own pace, and you do it at your interest level with things you're interested in, like the retention and the interest level, it's just all higher. Like, you remember it, which is awesome. Like, that's the name of the game, is remembering this stuff and facilitating a lifelong love of learning. And those are all the things we wanted to do. And I was on YouTube trying to figure this out with some of the different educators, and there are all these different education styles of constructivist, different things that are non-traditional. And I'm like, would any of those be any better? Or could I incorporate some of those and then have the best of all the worlds? And so I was watching all this stuff, and the kids, the kids. So I'm very protective of children. You don't have to be my child. I'm already protective of you. I just am. Like, I can't turn it off. It's just a thing that exists in my brain. When our kids did go to school, they asked me to if I wanted to volunteer to watch the kids after school playing, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. That's a thing I want to do. Kids are awesome. They're just such cool little people. And they look at the world in such a fresh and fun way. But yeah, we've been homeschooling for years now. We're in the groove. We figured it out. There was a little trial and error. The first year was a little bumpy with some of the subjects, but oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to turn this. We were able to figure it out and narrow it down and find the best stuff. And if you are curious of unique homeschool curriculums, I have a Pinterest board called Schoolhouse, and it's divided by different subjects. If you want to see some of the things like we've used and enjoyed, and yeah. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. He just reminds me of a beagle. I can't explain it. Okay. I don't know. Whenever I do designs, I have to like cut them off. It's like visually more interesting to my brain if there are things that go off the page. I can't help it. It's a thing for me. Anyway, this is a long, rambly video of me drawing a doggo that I knew nothing about this dog. He's so cute. Oh, most of them are super cute. All of them. I'm not gonna lie, they're all cute. Okay, so this is my this is my drawing, and I've been labeled all the illustrations. Let me find my pen. I've been using here we go, my Isograph, my technical pen, to label them all. And make sure I can spell this one. It's a Harrier. Okay, so then when I go back and do like a sketchbook tour and stuff, it'll all be labeled and all clear and concise. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was just 2 pens. It was very quick. Very quick and lots of fun. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope your week is wonderful, and I will talk to you later. Bye.